Jamie actually had a decent amount of episode this episode.
Dude,
He's kind of been in the background this whole time, but
I really enjoy Jamie now. As
mhm.
much as I could not stand him in season one, just because he was just a pompous ass, for no better
Yeah,
way of putting it.
right.
I love the growth that they've given him here. Basically humbling him
Yeah.
and then building his kid. Basically, they did the military thing to him. They broke him all the way down,
Hmm.
and now they're rebuilding him in the way that that would work for the team, or basically building him up as a man.
Yeah. Well, still, they broke him down so much so and made him such a team player that he lost some of the spark that made him special as far as an athlete.
Yeah, he's like, you need
Um,
to be a prick.
yeah. So Roy had to like bring him back a little bit. He had to rebound that. But yeah, so we already knew that Jamie and Jamie's dad's relationship is just not healthy, very toxic.
Yeah. They're focusing on his humanness. Yeah,
Yeah, Jamie's finally tolerable. Oh, I missed that. And oh, they're focusing on his humanness. Yeah, which, you know, it's funny to be kind of a caricature and like a cartoon, just like the smug guy that he was in the first one that played, especially playing off Keeley and that kind of thing, and Roy being upset with him. But that's the great thing about this show and long form storytelling is that you can flesh those kind of stereotypes and archetypes out
yeah.
into like real people. And that's what makes it interesting.
You can show things going sideways when we now know why he took the TV show gig to
Mm,
basically get at his dad.
right. Yeah.
I mean, there
His
was a real reason behind that for him. I mean,
Yeah.
he probably could have stayed on the team and played well and still been with the team. But he's like, how can I piss off my dad the most? Let's do this.
It's appropriate that Jamie's dad comes back for Man City because that's where we saw the scene with him last season.
Yeah, because he was mad that he passed the ball for that goal.
Mhm. Yeah. And it was Jamie's because of Jamie that Man City won because he did the right thing and took Ted's advice and actually was one of 11 out there. He gets chided at and yelled at and braided at by his own father back in the room, and Ted kind of stumbles upon that and then keeps walking. But then gives him the army man after a special envelope to just remind him did good or whatever. Ted was proud of
Yeah.
him. But yeah, so we knew from the get-go that Jamie's dad is just not
Well, I mean, when
not good.
Jamie's dad called when they were in the locker room in the beginning, because Sam got a call from his dad. This whole thing here, it was like Sam got a call from his dad to find out that oil company is no longer operating in their country.
Yeah, hey, we got an update on that storyline. How about that?
Yeah. So Sam's dad was really proud
Yeah,
of Sam,
right.
and then Jamie gets a call and he sees it's his dad. Basically, sends him the voicemail. He wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, he's like,
So
make sure I got my tickets for the
yeah,
game.
yeah. So he's yearning for what Sam has.
Right. Yeah.
He wants that relationship with his father, but he just knows his father doesn't have it in him to give. Well, even Higgins, when he goes to get the tickets, Higgins is in the closet. I mean, easy joke.
Yeah.
That joke was way too easy. But he's like, Jamie asked Higgins about his dad. He said his dad's got a bunch of hiccups, but he's got to love him for who he is.
Right.
As a Higgins, dropping those little nuggets of wisdom, and he
Hmm.
does every now and then. That was a nugget this week for us.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Higgins to have a turn where we'll find out that Higgins, because usually he's good at that, where he comes in at just the right moment with the right piece of advice. But maybe we'll see some drama from Higgins.
Yeah, a lot of daddy issues here in these characters. Well, here's one for you.
Yeah,
What if Roy actually has issues with his dad, and that's
I
why
mean, I wouldn't doubt him.
that's why he's able to step in when he does
Yeah,
and be that person that Jamie needed at that time.
yeah. So that's what transpires this episode is that Jamie's dad is just awful. He's awful in the stands. He's awful after their hard loss. After the loss, the guys are in the locker room. And it's a tough loss, but Jamie's dad comes in. Jamie's got a visitor. It's his own dad. He walks in. And he's just like belligerent and rude, and it's just not in a good spot. And
Here
Jamie
we go.
has enough.
Okay, well, let's see if you can hear this. You know that ickle TV show you made? You just made it easier for Manchester City to kick you to the curb. Look where you are now. Twaddling about with a bunch of amateurs. No offence, no offence. Huh? Don't turn your back on me, you pussy. Oh! Ah! Oh! Oh!
Well, they added some Indiana Jones sound effects to that punch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He
There's a
hit him.
thud there.
He hit him hard. That was nice.
Yeah. That was a nice hit there. I love him for who he is and forgive him for who he isn't. Higgins. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what Higgins said. Yeah, which is good advice. Not to get into it, but you and I have had our own dad issues, and it's been
Yeah.
tough.
I know.
Kind of like a man growing up kind of thing. Who knew that Roy could be such an awesome dad figure? I know. Roy is awesome.
He's grown. I mean, we've got, you know what? We have plans for Roy.
Is Roy even real? I hear that Roy is a CG character. He's not even real.
He's an android.
He's Jamie's saving grace. I was surprised about Roy, but really, he's coming into such a great role. Yeah, Roy's winning on all fronts, man. Because right after that scene, I guess let's talk a little bit about Roy. So that's kind of Jamie's experience. And Jamie, right after this moment, Jamie had a breakdown. Like he's standing there and he's shook, and all the players are kind of watching him and not knowing what to do.
Yeah, everyone. Beard, Ted, Nate. I mean, everyone's kind of like
just uncomfortable. And so uncomfortable. Like Beard is the one that like drags Jamie's father out. Ted doesn't know what to do. Yeah.
No offense.
And but Roy, he's the one to like embrace Jamie. He gives Jamie what he needs in that moment, which is just a hug.
I'm right there with you. I can't wait to see Roy and Jamie's interactions from here on out. I mean, they've been such, like mortal enemies almost the whole way through.
Right.
And just seeing that moment is awesome. He can't be an android. It's an Apple show.
We like the dad jokes here.